入邊搞，
入邊搞，入邊搞，水都係啊，入邊推。
唔係啊，唔係阿良啊。上面一個22。好啊好啊，你唔使教佢哋。喂，我見到5100。靚仔。劉師傅使唔使試咪？劉師傅。喂，1、2、3。
咪呢度係呢度係。
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。OK。而家搞埋俾你，打大啲。轉咗。呢支熄咗。用。
Opportune time. The Asian Five Nations Trophy, made in Calcutta by the Hora brothers.
Beautiful bit of silverware.
Dragons, tigers.
The same company that made the Calcutta Cup.
It is. Vaguely, Jeff, not very well. Got me talked back up on there. Can you say something?
Sampany was telling me earlier this week that one of the Scottish rugby journalists, when Sam was playing for Glasgow Warriors, said that he'd be quicker sending the ball by courier post to the standoff for Glasgow than his appallingly slow pass.
I got a shock when he told me he was a halfback. He's a rangy lad, isn't he? Yep. Who's the referee today? Japanese guy, is it? Otsuka. There's another Japanese assistant as well, yeah?
Taizo.
Oh, Taizo, really?
Yeah.
I saw it. Taco?
Yeah. As in...
Taku. Otsuki. Taizo Hirabayashi. Yeah. Assistant? Oh, you don't know. Yeah. Who's the other assistant? Oh, they're all Japanese, yeah? Matsui. Hong Kong, Korea. Check. Yes. It was. I was eating an apple. Check. We are set for a battle royale here at the Hong Kong Football Club. It's a match-up in round 3 of the Asian Five Nations between Hong Kong and Korea, two teams that have had a recent history of some very, very close games and battling each other for the number 2 ranking in Asia and the right to play Japan perhaps and take a Rugby World Cup berth in the next few weeks. And the Korean crowd are in attendance today to get amongst the Hong Kong fans and give them a real hurry up. Mike Rehu with you this afternoon, and alongside me in the commentary booth, Robbie McRobbie. Good afternoon, Robbie. What are you expecting today?
Good afternoon, Mike. Expecting fireworks. I think this is going to be very, very tense encounter between these two old foes. Both of them had a very good start to their Asian Five Nations campaigns. Both teams very, very confident, and I think we can expect a tussle up front.
So just reminding you of the situation here in the AFU Asian Five Nations. This is the 3rd round of competition. At the points table, we'll hopefully get that up for you in a couple of moments. Looks like this: Hong Kong with the benefit of playing 2 games already. At the top of the table, Japan They had a bye the first week, and at the moment as we speak they're giving Sri Lanka a bit of a hiding, so expect them to be up on top as well at the end of today's play. Korea, they dispatched Sri Lanka as well in the first week of the competition, had a bye last week, and as you see at the bottom there, Sri Lanka and the Philippines looking forward to meeting each other for a very close game at the end of this competition. So we've had some horrible weather in Hong Kong the last few days, but the weather gods have been good to us, because in the last hour the rain has stopped and it's dried up nicely, so it looks like we're going to have almost perfect conditions for this game. And we saw earlier on this afternoon a Division 1 game between Kazakhstan and Chinese Taipei. They both travelled to Hong Kong to play off to see who would stay in Division 1 next year, and the result I can share with you is 37 points to 8 victory for Kazakhstan over Chinese Taipei. Played in miserable conditions, but the Kazakhstanis were very physical, very strong, and managed to dispatch the Chinese Taipei team. So they will join Singapore next year in Division 1 alongside with the bottom two teams here in the top tier of Asian Five Nations Rugby this year. So Robbie, both teams looking reasonably relaxed. Are you surprised?
I think it's masking the tension. Looking forward to the national anthems. I believe we'll see some passionate singing from both teams, Mike. The Hong Kong boys have been busy learning the words, so let's see if they can belt that out.
We have seen some moving mouths lately, and we look forward to that. The Army boys salute and the civilians put their hands on their chest for the South Korean national anthem, and now stand by for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. As anticipated by Robbie McRobbie there for the national anthems. So let's take a look at the teams as they line up here just before kickoff. For the Hong Kong team, they beat Sri Lanka last week 41 points to 10, and they retain the same front eight as the team that started last week. In the back line, Peter McKee gets a deserved first start of the season. Yu Kam Shing comes back from injury on the wing, and Alex McQueen replaces Tom McCall at fullback. So not a bad lineup there, some experience and plenty on the bench as well. For Korea, well, they had a bye last week as we mentioned. They retain the same forward pack that smacked Sri Lanka 2 weeks ago, 59 points to 3. Some professionals there from Japan. And in the back line, key player Oh Young Kyung comes back at number 10. A new man at fullback to watch for too, apparently quite a talented young fellow, Jeong Yong Sik. And the try machine Kim Kwang Min goes back from fullback to wing. So just taking a look in the course of time at the benches for Hong Kong. Look for the two Alexes in the pack, Alex Harris, the hooker, and Alex Baddeley, the flanker, to make a contribution off the bench there for Hong Kong. And for Korea, the prop Shindong Wong, he's a pro playing in Japan for the Suntory Sungoliath. He's looking forward to getting amongst this Hong Kong team in the backline. Zhang Xiong Min, he has pace and flair at centre, a tall lad, so we look to him to make an impression off the bench too. Referee for today is Taku Otsuki, who's a vastly experienced exponent in the refereeing game. From Japan, does all the top league there and has refereed many international games in Asia, that's for sure. The coaches of the two teams, for Hong Kong, Lee Jones. Korea, the coach is Jung Sam-yoon, who's new this year, introduced some new ideas. And we look forward to the start of the game. This is Oh Hyun kicking off for Korea. They play left to right on your screen. Hong Kong in the red, right to left. Difficult kickoff there for Rowan Vati. Gets the attentions of Kim Won-yong on top of him, and the ball spills into touch. This will be a Korea throw. Good start for Korea. New hooker for Korea this year, Kim Jeep, who apparently is their answer. They've had a few players in and out of the position in the last couple of years. Apparently this guy, his all-round ability is very strong, so we look to him to have a strong game as well. Nice take off the top from Korea. Oh, into the midfield. Here's Park No-hoon, a big bulky ball carrier. Scored the winning try 2 years ago, and here they go through the middle. This is the inside word from Korea. They don't think Hong Kong are committing enough players to the tackle, so expect a bit of that running through the middle, maybe some attacking walls. Oh, brilliant play from Lloyd Jones, who's stolen the ball. And McKee puts a box kick in, hurried it a little bit. Kim Guan-min, here's the new man at fullback who gets smashed late from Jake Phelps, I think it is. Bit of a shoulder charge there too on Jeong Yong-sik, who goes down. Jake Phelps may have been in the air there, Robbie, but did look quite sickening, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Very unfortunate late challenge. A phonetic start. It was interesting to see Korea taking their own line out very cleanly there. I think Hong Kong will be targeting that area. They fancy their chances to steal some ball off Korea at line out time. So Korea did well to get clean ball to start with.
So there it is. Phelps has been sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Not the start that Hong Kong would wish for. A little unlucky, but yeah, just a little clumsy there from Phelps. Obviously keen to put pressure on the kicker. Found himself in mid-air, but followed through, and it was a nasty charge on Jeong. So Korea will get the first chance to put some points on the board here through the boot of Oh Young-hyun, who really had a masterclass last year as Korea beat Hong Kong, a very tired Hong Kong, in the last round of the Asian Five Nations, 43 points to 22. Played fantastically on that day, and in fact was the top scorer in last year's Asian Five Nations with 68 points, outscoring Ayumu Goromaru, the points machine from Japan, which is no mean feat. He has matured in the last few years, this fly half, Oh Yoon-hyun. Gives it a nice stroke too. Beautiful timing from Oh, and the first points on the board for Korea for a penalty from fly half. Oh Yoon-hyun, as he kisses the name of his wife there on the strapping on the forearms. Very interesting getting some insight from the technical advisor for Korea, Lee Smith, a coach from New Zealand, who through the IRB spends a lot of time up there and just introducing some new processes for Korea and some new strength and conditioning techniques, nutrition.
Interesting to see from the kickoff there, Alex McQueen's being used as a chaser for the kickoffs, and actually he's being put up on defensive kickoffs as well.
Here's the captain, Kim Guan-sik, who smashes aside Tom Boland. Some real vocal support here for the Koreans. Lee Guang-moon over to the 10-metre line here in Hong Kong territory. Young pleading for the ball. Out it goes to Oh. Skip pass to Kim Guan-sik, the captain who's been used as a ball runner, and a penalty against Hong Kong in from the side. May have been James Cooper, I think, that the referee is fingering. So yes, Alex McQueen, we see that in the 7 series a lot of him getting up and chasing the kicks. Great aerial skills from the outside back. of course, plays a lot in sevens at halfback as well. Alex McQueen, very multi-skilled player. You see here, second run in 30 seconds, Kim Won-sik, who scored a mighty try last year, a couple of steps off the left foot against Hong Kong. He's been elevated to the captaincy this year. Last year, the captain was Park Soon-chai, the blindside flanker. It seems to be a rotational sort of a role. 4 or 5 ex-captains in this lineup today. Zoe gets another chance. This one's right in front of the posts. Successful with his first shot at goal. And he really is in superb kicking form. The fly half from Korea. Didn't get a start in the first game against Sri Lanka. And this is a good start from Korea. They really haven't let Hong Kong get their hands on the ball.
Yeah, very disappointing for Hong Kong. I know that the desire is to be in this game at 30 minutes, and this is not the start that they would have been hoping for. But good take from the Queen.
Cooper gets absolutely flattened by Kim Jong-min, the open side flanker. Good defensive rucking, and Park, the 23-year-old tight head prop, smashes his way forward. Very physical start here. Here's Park Soon-chai, last year's captain that we just talked about. Young, who was also captain of the team back in 2007. Park again with his hands on the ball, and Korea really taking it to Hong Kong. Quickly up there, it was McAdam, but he's left a little void in the defensive line. Here's Jong, gets it to Kim Won-yong, inside the 22 now. Real momentum here for Hong Kong. Park No-hoon, Kim Jong-min. Young again, who Leon Wei comes around quickly around the outside. Referee Otsuki says he's onside, so good timing there from Leon Wei, who broke up the attack, the young loosehead prop from Korea. But frenetic start from Korea, and they look really, really solid, don't they?
Yeah, that initial break came from some very intelligent play. The Koreans realised that the Hong Kong had a lot of front five out the defensive line, and they were able to utilise their faster, more agile backs against the big Hong Kong front rows and second rows who were stood out wide.
Great story about the tight head prop. We just see him there in the shot. Park Jong-yul made his debut for Korea as an 18-year-old. Got thrown in the deep end when Korea had their poor year. They were demoted to Division 1 and gave up rugby for a year or two. But he's back now, fully enthused as O takes this ball away, but good pressure there defensively from the Hong Kong team. They've turned it over. McKee gets it back to McAdam off his left boot. And scoring underneath it. He takes it and then walks into touch. That'll be an interesting ruling from the assistant referee. Seemed that he may have taken it, then walked into touch. Is he going to give it to Hong Kong this line out, or to Messi? He's thinking about, oh, he's going to go for Korea. There's a little debate there with the referee, I think, and the crowd in front of the assistant referee giving him a bit of a bath. Did look as though Jeong, the fullback, had taken the ball and stepped into touch, but they're given the benefit of the doubt. Goes to the front, knock on though from Kim Ho Bum. So they get advantage here, Hong Kong. Their first real chance in the Korean half. As you say, Robbie, they're trying to sap up the pressure here, so getting through the phases, some ball carrying, denying Korea the ball. McKee to Hewson. Good winding run from Hewson. Clean ball for Hong Kong. It's McAdam who decides to go for a break. Beautiful slip pass to Lloyd Jones. He's got one man to beat, but dragged down nicely by Kim Won-yong. Quick ball though, it's Lamming, who just ran out of support on his shoulder. McKee now though. McAdam to Varty, who's in midfield. Varty running strongly. Korea trying to organise himself defensively. Hewson tries to pry open the defensive line. They're about 15 metres out now. Here's Cooper. Good front on tackle on Cooper. Just behind the advantage line. A little bit slow now for Hong Kong. Where's McAdam? Almost a chance for a drop goal, you'd think here. Or good pressure around the fringes from Korea. So, nice period of sustained attack from Hong Kong. how's your father, and sorting out amongst the packs. Park Jong-yul getting a nice face massage from Paul Dwyer there. Well, that was good play from Hong Kong. Don't forget they're one man down, and it really showed there as they tried to breach the Korean defence.
All stemmed from the spoiled Korean line-out, and Hong Kong was certainly going to be targeting that, Mike. They think that they can take on the Koreans at the set piece. So they've done the bit of the line-out. Let's see how they go with the scrum.
So it's one position that Korea had a strength in is the front row forwards. About 6 or 7 of them playing in Japan professionally, so this is the cream of the crop here. Kim Gwon-sik, nice strong strike of the ball there from Korea. No worries for them there as Lee Kwang-moon winds up. And let's go with a nice run. It's sloppy though, and it comes out the back for Hong Kong. Numbers down the blind here too. Surging forward and only 2 metres away from the line. McKee looks for a runner. It's Lloyd Jones. He's a big strong man. He's on his back though. Referee Otsuki, I think, awards a penalty holding on. So I think a few people got very excited there for a moment, thought he'd awarded a try, but no luck for Hong Kong. But a better stanza of play from them. Well, the pace of play here, Robbie, is frenetic in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Certainly is, and I think again that was the pressure from McKee on the Koreans that caused the mistake that led to the turnover and that almost try for Hong Kong. McKee, I think he's got the nudge in selection this time because of his defence and,
yes,
and the pressure that he could put on the Koreans.
Very abrasive character, Peter McKee, and just see there Lloyd Jones. A lot of men over the ball. It was Yang Yong-hoon, the halfback, who had the rights to the ball there. So some relief for Korea, but they're still inside their 22. That's Kim Jong-min. Gets very high in the air, but good pressure from the Hong Kong pack, making the ball very slow and untidy for Korea. It's back to O, who gives it to Kim Nam-wook. He's got a nice solid left boot on him. Here's Alex McQueen, who fakes to kick. Wasn't sucked in there though. Kim Kwon-min is back to Nick Hewson, who's featured a lot in running play here. The 7-star showing his running skills, but just losing the ball forward there in contact. So we'll see. I think we'll see Phelps back now on the field. Yeah, after his discretion. So yeah, Hewson has really shown his ball running skills in the first 10 minutes.
He'll be disappointed a bit with his handling there, Mike. He, as a full-time sevens player, it's an area that he prides himself on. So perhaps that just shows the ball a little bit wet and greasy in the conditions here.
Wild scrummaging here. A wheel that goes awry for Hong Kong before the ball goes in, so they're penalised. So just give you an update on the score from Japan and Nagoya. Japan are 94-0 ahead of Sri Lanka with a few moments left on the clock as well. So a real spanking there for Sri Lanka, who had to go up to Korea and face the music 2 weeks ago. A bit of brightness in their performance against Hong Kong. Held them quite well in the second half. I'm sure they're looking forward to that game against the Philippines to express themselves. So attacking line out here for Korea. They're just on the 22. The blindside winger, Kim Kwon-min, is just stationed on the left shoulder of O, the standoff. They roll it away. Yang Yong-hoon in there slapping and trying to get the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I think he was banging on the back of his own ball carrier there for the ball quickly, but Coxon try was not having a word of it. As Dwyer goes in and makes it messy for the Koreans. Koreans here just taking some one-off runners, committing some Hong Kong forwards. It's out the back now though, 2-0. Hart puts in a little kick. Didn't get much on that, and it's gone Hong Kong's way. Varty decides to give it a good kick, and it comes off a Korean player. I think here's Jeong. Ball's gone out. So the crowd will get up on their feet, but Alex McQueen realises that the whistle's gone and the ball's gone into touch. So quite a fast defensive line there for Hong Kong, and Park just trying a little pop over the top, but didn't really get enough ball on the foot there. So almost quarter of an hour gone in this game. Korea with 2 penalties ahead, 6 points to 0. Tom Boland to put the ball into this line out. Didn't look the straightest, but they play on through McAdam. Phelps charging after this one. Knocked it on though. In fact, the referee hasn't seen the knock on. He says it's come off the knee. Oh, this is disaster for Korea. And I'm not sure if he's got this right. No video referee in Asian Five Nations rugby, but that looked a little suspicious. So Phelps goes from 0 to hero, Sinbin, and then the try scorer within 10 minutes. Let's take a look at the replay, because he absolutely zapped after this kick. May have been slightly offside as he chased it too. Surely that came off his hand onto his knee there. Not the best angle, slightly obscured. Oh, well, we can talk until the cows come home. He scored a try as far as the referee's concerned. And McAdam with an easy conversion, and Hong Kong take the lead, 7 points to 6. Well, high drama here at the Hong Kong Football Club. This goes to show though, Phelps, real urgency chasing after that chip kick. The Koreans just looking at each other. I think the young fullback, Jeong Yong-sik, seems to be slightly phased with the occasion. Doesn't look completely solid out the back.
That little chip kick is something that the Hong Kong attack coach has been working on. They see the Koreans coming up very fast in defence, and I think it's a tactic we'll see repeated later in the game again.
Tauti's calling for this one, number 8. Loops a pass midfield. It's the try-scoring hero, Phelps. And McAdam with a clearing punt. It's down the back to number 8, Lee Guang-moon. There's the fullback, Jeong. Silky skills, look at this gliding running style, but the pop pass can't get picked up by Park. So it's McQueen with some counter-attacking room here. Throws a pass to Yu Kam Sing. Good charge down there from Kim Guan-min, who puts in a chip kick of his own, and he's only going to chase this down. Cover coming across from Varty. Good work from the other winger there on the blind side. Varty screaming back like a jet fighter, beats Kim Guan-min to the touchdown. Good save there from Varty.
Well, we see the chip kick tactic almost coming off again for Yu Kam Sing, but it just goes to show the danger of it. That was very nearly a 14-point charge down from the kick through, but some great covering from Varty.
Again, the ball hits the ground. No one calling for that ball from the 22. This time it's who really high ball, but no chases there from Korea. McQueen this time, and again, just a little disorganisation out the back for Korea. It's Yun-hyung who goes back and decides to scramble an extra 5 or 6 metres before he puts his boot to the ball. Korea waiting for them to be put on side. Here's McAdam. This time Kim Guan-min tries to go in and claim it, but he knocks it on. So playing advantage here for Hong Kong. McKee out to Leon Wei, who's stationed midfield. The loosehead prop who scored 3 tries! Breaking the tackle, look at Big Wei go! Has he got support? He's brought down 5 metres away. Korea going over the top, trying to kill the ball. Penalty advantage here for Hong Kong. They'll want to try straight away if they can while they've got the hammer down. Jones goes himself, finds his mate Phelps, can't find him, so we'll come back for the penalty. Wow, Leon Way, well, he's been a star so far this season with 3 tries in 2 games. And he fancies the Koreans too. He took them on in midfield and bumped them off like a big dodgem car.
Well, it perhaps wasn't a huge surprise that he was given a lot of space to run with the ball against the Philippines and Sri Lanka, but Korea, it's certainly a bit of a surprise to see the amount of room that the Korean defence has given him. The Korean defence seems to be a little bit 6s and 7s. Hong Kong are employing a kicking game. They're going to kick the ball down the Korean throats, and at the moment they're not coping very well with it.
One thing there from the replay that we saw was just the balance on Leon Way. He's a big man, but very nimble on his feet as he was buffeted left and right there. Just retained his balance perfectly as McAdam knocks over the penalty. Quite a keen badminton fan, Leon Way, and I'm sure the time on the court that he's spent over the years has helped him with that as well. So Hong Kong take a 10-6 lead. What an exciting game this has been. Almost a quarter of the game gone. Sam Pinder updating his mates for the score. The Hong Kong backs coach. There's the Korean children being bussed in. Giving their full support. Goes down to Talfi again. Gives it to Phelps. Phelps decides to run this one up. Weaves his way to the 22. Just puts it down nicely inside the 22 so they can kick to touch if they wish, although they want to put pressure on Lee Guang-moon. And he gets up a real head of steam. Bumps off Lamming. He looks a little worse for wear after that tackle, grasping his shoulder. Looking good for Lamming. Oh, beautiful run there from Kim Won-yong, the 7-star. It's Lee Guang-moon again, who really wants to take a couple of pieces out of this Hong Kong defence. Some good work on the ground from Hong Kong, though. Slow ball. So Young decides to go right through the middle. Again, just one off running. Committing some of those Hong Kong tacklers around the fringes. Lining out here to Park No-hoon. Takes on Pale Taute. Good strong work though in defence from Taute. Slips a pass though to Park Soon Chai. Young Young-hoon, who's taken by McKee, who got round the outside, so they're playing advantage here for Hong Kong. Phelps. Yu Kam Sing dodges the first hit. There's Kim Nam-wook who screamed in there, who looks like he might have hurt himself as well. So this time it's Dwyer. Oh, big tackle, big defence on him from Kim Guan-sik. McAdam this time will look to relieve the pressure and get some territory. Puts it out near the halfway line. Bit of a stalemate there for both teams, but well, this is a bruising encounter. See a number of the players as they stroll to the line out, just rubbing various extremities.
You see McKee again causing problems for the Koreans around the fringes of the rucks. It's he must be one of the most annoying scrum halves to play against, I imagine.
He certainly is an abrasive character, Ian McKee. And Young, the Korean scrum half, vastly experienced, but even he's looking a little off his game with McKee there all over him. Good tackle there from Lloyd Jones. Slowish. Kim Guan-sik pops the ball to Kim Jeep, the hooker. Young, the halfback, to Kim Guan-min, who's off his wing. Puts in a probing kick. It'll go out into touch just on the 22. So again, both teams having a bash and then resorting to some kicks for territory. Korea probably had the best of the territory overall for the first 23 minutes of this game, but Hong Kong making the most of their time down inside the Korean half.
Well, Hong Kong were, as I mentioned earlier, the focus and the target was to still be competitive and in the game at 30 minutes, and after that they thought they'd been with a good chance.
Sickening there from Delaforce, and Korea have got the ball. May have been down to his own lifters there though, Delaforce. Looked awful though as Korea take this one way down the blind side. Oh, Yoon Kyung goes for a run. Kim Jong Min is in support. They're 15 metres out, Korea. Flat ball there to Park Soon Chai, who smashes his way forward. Young Yong Hoon gets it in quickly. Here's O, gets it wide to the tight head prop Park. Kim Nam Wook, Kim Jong Min gets it, juggles, retains it. Here's Kim Nam Wook. It's a lovely balanced runner. They're 5 metres out now, Korea. Look to have the Hong Kong team stretched. It's the lock, Yoon Kwon Woo. He's been under a bit of an injury cloud. Good to see him get his hands on the ball. Oh, Yoon Hyung decides to run at the defence. He hasn't got many numbers there. It's a turnover, I think, to Hong Kong. Good defensive effort there from Hong Kong. And maybe the wrong option there, I think, from the fly half. McAdam, who's under a load of pressure, shows a cool head to get the ball out. And the pressure is slightly relieved with another line out about 20 metres away from the Hong Kong line.
Fantastic steal there from Tom Boland. Great work on the ground to get that turnover. Certainly very, very big relief for Hong Kong.
Let's just take a look at this line-out incident. Just see there, he lost his balance over the Hong Kong player. He may have just moved into that jumping position. The referee, though, didn't seem to think there was any issue there. Having a word with the referee here. Leon Wei is injured, so they don't want to go on here. They'd rather get this issue sorted out. And there's plenty of reserves on the bench here. Alex the substitute loose head prop to come in, or Steve Nolan, the Irish tight head as well. He'll be keen to get some game time. Makes his way slowly back to the line-out. Real intensity in this game. Clash. We've seen a couple of one-sided fixtures so far in the AFU Asian Five Nations, with Hong Kong with 2 reasonable victories, 108-0 against the Philippines and 41-10 against Sri Lanka. So great to see a close game, and a free kick against Korea here. Sick. The decision, but referee Atsuki quite clear in his mind, so it's a free kick. Hong Kong will put this out, but Korea will get the throw in as McAdam. It's about 3 or 4 metres beyond the mark, beyond the 22. But they let him keep that one out of the touch. Referee Tides on the touch line there. Another experienced Japanese referee. So it's Kim Jeep who'll put this ball into the line out. Park Soon Chai takes it cleanly. Oh. Puts in a long kick. Alex McQueen though in good position. And he's got Yu Kam Shing, and Rowan Vardy was slightly ahead of him, but Vardy's following up this kick and takes it. It's really poor reception from these kicks from Korea. Nobody taking responsibility. Seems quite odd, doesn't it? These probing up and unders are being left alone by Korea. Nobody is, and it should be the fullback's role to really scramble up and take responsibility for these kicks. But we've had some good raps on the young fullback, Jeong Yong Sik, a 20-year-old from the Korean University, but it just seems as though maybe with the occasion he's going a little missing. You see here, no Korean really within 4 or 5 metres of Vati, who was probably 2 or 3 metres offside as he chased that kick. Almost half an hour gone in this game, and it's gone in a flash. Hong Kong with the lead, 10 points to 6. A try from Jake Phelps. McAdam with a conversion and penalty. He's young. Scrum screws to the touchline, so difficult for Korea, but they managed to get it out. And here's Kim Nam Wook, who's got a nice big left foot on, and now McQueen scrambling to get back on this one. He might let it run with the synthetic pitch. If it goes dead, that's bad news for Korea. They'll come back to the 22 for a scrum. It's the synthetic pitch, and also it was a booming punt.
The pitch does drain incredibly quickly, so even with the amount of rain we've had over the last 48 hours, you can see that with the 3G surface, it's just like playing on a bright sunny day.
Some of the Hong Kong Rugby Union staff taking some time out, including one of your proteges.
Yes, I think they'll have been enjoying the performance so far, with almost half an hour on the clock, and Hong Kong still in the lead.
So McKee will put this ball into a scrum, and some fantastic options either side for Hong Kong. It's a free kick. McKee takes it quickly. Korea scramble back. McKee though decides to run. It squirts out the side. Korea though guilty of just watching each other sometimes, and here's Jeong, finally gets the ball on his hands. It goes back to Vati. Vati, such a dangerous player from broken play. No look pass to Lamming, who seems to have recovered from that dead arm he got stinger a few moments ago. McAdam squirts a little grubber through. Kim Guan-Ming speculates it like a football back, and it's gone nowhere. Houston goes up, but he's knocked it on. Just not keeping their heads there here, the Koreans. Some unusual play. What he was trying to achieve from that speculative kick, anybody knows. It was a challenging kick though from McAdam, that's for sure, with Jones and Phelps quickly up. And Korea would do well just to suck it in here and try and play a little bit more conservatively perhaps. And as you say, Hong Kong were happy to sap it up for the first 30 minutes, the pressure, and they've come out in the lead at the moment so far, so a good result from them as far as the way they wish the game to go.
I think Coach Lee Jones will be extremely satisfied with how things are sitting after 30 minutes. Attacking scrum and 10-6 up.
Good scrum too. It's a tight head to Hong Kong. Tauti powers away from the scrum. McKee, quick ball. Numbers here too on the left. Boland decides to take the tackle though. And good pressure from Korea. They slow it down. Ball is squirting out at all angles, and McQueen decides to go for the drop goal. And it didn't look beautiful, but it's certainly effective. Alex McQueen with a drop goal. So he extends the lead to 7 points. Alex McQueen with a drop goal, 13 points to 6. That's his 47th point in Asian Five Nations Rugby, so up there almost cracking the 50, McQueen.
He is, of course, an accomplished kicker. He's not having the place kicking duties at the moment with the Hong Kong team, but very good kicker both from off the tee and drop goal. So very calm piece of play from Alex McQueen.
Yeah, and it goes against the grain from some of the things we've seen in the last 10-15 minutes as well. It was, as you say, a very cool, calculated move from McQueen. Get 3 points on the board, calm things down, and extend their lead as Hong Kong look to relieve some pressure here through McAdam. Again, Jeong just standing very deep, and the ball did fly into touch, so good clearance there from Hong Kong. Basics well from the kickoff, as we see the bench from Hong Kong, some talent and some bulk ready to come on. So Korea will have the throw in here. Park Soon-Chai, one of the main providers of line-out ball. In midfield this time to Park No-hoon, who gets taken around the chest region and dragged to the ground. Lee Guang-moon, who has been a real bulldozer on offence, but he's been held up here. So it'll be a maul, so Korea need to get this ball out and they can't. Again, good heady play from the Hong Kong team. Just in the last 4 or 5 minutes, we've seen some very good decisions being made on the run from Hong Kong. And they're slowly getting the upper hand here on the Korean team.
That was a lovely bit of team tackling on the Korean there. The entire Hong Kong back row unit, Tauti, Hewson and Lamming all together holding the player up and taking that turnover.
Little things like this can certainly count when it comes to the final reckoning in a game of rugby. 3 or 4 very good decisions made in the last couple of minutes from Hong Kong. Just feel the momentum ebbing away from Korea as we approach half-time. Tauti to McKee. One off running again from Hewson. Ball's there for Lamming at the back of the ruck, and McKee gets to his feet. And he's been held on to there by Kim Gwon-sik. Tauti decides to get this ball to McAdam, and that's a nice piece of calming, influential play again. And this is the style of play that we've seen Hong Kong want to play. Getting out of their territory well, marching up the field. And again, there'll be a lot of pressure here on the Korean line out as they look to punch out of their half. Goes to the back, it's Lee Kwong-moon who struggled to get in the air that time. It's Young to O, who's under pressure, but he manages to get a good kick away. Sends McQueen scurrying back inside his 22. But he has plenty of time to put this ball into touch and gets to just over halfway. And in the end, a nice punt there from McQueen. He's showing a cool, calm head at the back for Hong Kong. Well, the Korean players on the ground. I think it's Lee Kwong-moon after that line-out jump. Very experienced player, Lee Kwong-moon. He's played at 3 big Japanese clubs, Toyota, Suntory and now Toshiba, Brave Lupus. So he's been around the traps in professional rugby in Japan. Missing another one of their loose forwards who played well last year, Hung-kyu, who's out with an injury, and of course Yu Yong Nam, who plays for the Panasonic Wild Knights, the champions this year in Japanese top league rugby. He's out at the moment as well. So a couple of influential forwards missing. Korea will be put into this line out. 4 minutes left in the first half. Hong Kong with the lead. Here's Lee Kwong-moon, who's got a big ball runner in midfield. It's Yu Kwon-woo. Loses it, but it goes backwards. Here's Jong. He gives it to Kim Gwon-min. Good defence from Yu Kam-shing, but he's put the ball in field. The referee has awarded that the ball went forward off the hand of Kim Gwon-min. Not a bad attack there from Korea. But handling is becoming difficult. We saw in the earlier game, grip on the ball was very tough in torrential rain. It's dried up a bit now, but especially in contact, it seems very hard to keep the ball under control. So Hong Kong with the put in at halfway. It's a free kick. Early engagement or in on the angle, I think the referee Otsuki was saying. Tauti takes it away quickly. McKee up fast on Boland, but he's a big strong man. He brushes aside a couple of defenders. Some real go forward here for Hong Kong. McAdam, numbers 2 Phelps to Yu Kam-shing, who's off his wing. Alex McQueen now charging ahead. They're inside the 22. Good fast ball again. McKee gets it to Leon Wei. This time they make no mistake on the burly loose head prop, tying him up nice and quickly. McAdam gets a sloppy pass and he decides to go for a drop goal. This time a little astray, but still the pressure on Korea. They're under the cosh here. Hong Kong really taking momentum here in the second quarter, and it looks as though the referee has ruled there was a charge down there from a Korean hand, so we'll come back for a 5-metre scrum.
Hong Kong coaches will be delighted that the game plan seems to be working well. Hong Kong are now playing most of the time down in deep in the Korean half, and some very uncharacteristic sloppiness around the Korean defence, which is allowing Hong Kong to keep that pressure on.
And this is a prime position just before half-time for Hong Kong. Wouldn't they love to score a try from here? And we've got a 4-2 split. 4 on the left and 2 on the right. Interesting to see if they do a little switch here, or Tauti off the back to the right. In fact, they're going for the pushover. The ball squirts out and Young snaps it up. Kim Jong-min, counter-attack here. Oh, and it's Jeong, the young fullback again, who mucks it up. The occasion really getting the better of him here, the fullback, the 20-year-old. So still, they cannot release this pressure, the Korean team. It was a strong scrum there from Hong Kong. They just couldn't control the ball as they got within 2 or 3 metres of the line. But again, it's another scrum for Hong Kong. Kim Jong-min, who's got some great ball-carrying skills for an open side flanker. He scored 3 tries against Sri Lanka in their first week. So on the 22, another attacking scrum here for Hong Kong. Early in their pomp as we just get to half-time. Tauti takes it off the back of the scrum. Solid defence from Korea this time. Untidy ball for McKee. He gets it to McAdam. Oh, falls into the hands of Jake Phelps. He pins his ears back, weaves around the defence and goes over for his second try of the game, Jake Phelps. Well, he may have spent the first 10 minutes of this game on the bench, but he's certainly come back and repaid his team in spades. The inside centre from Sydney, Jake Phelps.
Well, that was another one of those moments. It was a fairly loose pass from Pete McKee. It could have been a Korean breakaway and a try down the other end. But Hong Kong got the rub of the green. And, you know, they deserve it, Mike. The amount of pressure that they're piling on. Mistakes are happening and they are capitalising on it.
Strong running there from Phelps. Really have performed well this season, the centre pairing. Phelps and Jones, who've known each other for many years, best mates, do everything together. And it really shows with their combination in the centre. They've added a new dimension to Hong Kong's 15s team. There's McAdam. Converts the try, and that will leave Hong Kong in a commanding position at half-time as both teams run to the sheds. And you can see the shock on the faces of Korea. They didn't expect this at half-time. 20 points to 6 down. 2 tries to Jake Phelps. And a really strong performance from Hong Kong. They sapped up a lot of pressure in the first 15 to 20 minutes as Korea played helter-skelter rugby. They sapped it up and then turned it around and put the blowtorch on the Koreans. So 2 tries to 0, 20 points to 6 to Hong Kong at the break. At Korea, well, there'll be a lot of serious talking in the changing rooms at half-time, and they'll have a lot to do in the second half of this Asian Five Nations clash. We'll see you in 10 minutes' time. 20 points to 6 to Hong Kong at the break.
Postcode South Africa what the other day. Now where am I starting? Right wing or left wing? I'm sorry about that. This is great. This is a bit small, isn't it? Yeah, that's all right. That's I'm not going to miss you see that camera going up and going because we're so good. This is my place. That's a good one. This is my great pleasure. To deal with it. That's what I want to know. Well done.
Welcome back to the Hong Kong Football Club. What a scintillating 40 minutes of rugby we had first up in this third round clash of the Asian Five Nations. Korea probably got the better of the start as we see the mascot flirting with the audience there, the young dragon. But Korea certainly got off onto the front foot with a couple of penalties early on, but it was Hong Kong with the first try of the game. Jake Phelps, who was yellow carded in the opening minutes, came back and scored a try, chasing up the kick from McAdam, setting the Hong Kong crowd alight. And just before half-time, we saw another try to Phelps, who got a bobbling pass from McKee and certainly made the most of it. A good strong run from Phelps, who showed a clean pair of heels around the defence of Korea to score his second try of the game. And Hong Kong with a handsome 20-6 lead at half-time. Mike Rehu with Robbie McRobbie. And Robbie, what an interesting half of rugby. Korea probably had the better of the first quarter of an hour of this game, but Hong Kong, as they were going to do, sapped up the pressure and then really turned it round, turned the tables on Korea.
I think it was a very disciplined performance from Hong Kong in that first half. They came out with a game plan. They were looking for territory. They were going to put pressure on with using the boot of McAdam and McQueen, and it's paid off in spades.
Well, we've just seen too, just talking about it at half-time there, the young Korean fullback Jeong Yong-sik is causing a lot of the pressure on Korea because of his failure to get under the high ball.
I think that we're going to see Hong Kong continuing this kicking game in the second half, particularly if the fullback's still there in play. I imagine that, first 10 minutes or so, Hong Kong will keep on putting boot to ball and keep the ball, keep the game back down that Korean half.
There's a lot to do for Korea, and you certainly wouldn't discount them at this stage of the game. Still 40 minutes to go. There's the man who was sin-binned for a late shoulder charge in the first minutes of this game, Jake Phelps. As we take a look at the Chinese Taipei team who played earlier today, coming out on the wrong end of a 37-8 loss against Kazakhstan. It's been a real festival of rugby here so far today. And as you probably know, if you're an Asian rugby fan, the top 5 from this year will be whistled down to the top 3. So 2 teams from this year's top league will go down to Division 1 next year, which you'd anticipate will be Sri Lanka and the Philippines, unless the Philippines can get up against Korea. As we see here, it looks like they may have made a change in the huddle there. We see number 22, we talked about earlier, Jung Seong-min, this rangy centre who's come on the field, and you'd imagine he might slot in either on the wing or at fullback. both of the wings they started with, Kim Won-yong and Kim Gwon-min, can play at fullback as well. So the young fullback Jeong Yong-sik has been crooked or pulled. So perhaps there's going to be some more solidity at the back. And this kick goes long, and it's in touch on the full from McAdam. And Kim Jeep fakes to go for the quick throw into the line out, but just keeping Hong Kong on their toes. So we'll have a scrum midfield for Korea. A lot of work for them to do in the second half. So just looking at the way they're lining up. So at the moment, normally plays centre, and we saw him in the Asian 7 series. He's a superb runner, lovely on the outside break. Solid scrum from Hong Kong, putting a lot of pressure, but they've been penalised for coming around the side of that scrum, not binding. So Hong Kong with the, Korea with the chance to start the second half, and they will take a shot at goal here. Oh Hyun-hyun, there's no hesitation to take a shot at goal. Ali Taute there, who's another solid performance, starting at number 8. Been a pleasure to have his stepfather Graham over from Tapanui in South Otago for the last few weeks, following the young fella around Asia. Saw him here in Hong Kong, and he made the trip to Sri Lanka. We say in New Zealand, a tiki tour around Asia. I think he's going back to his sheep farm after this weekend, though. Probably take this opportunity to misbehave once more in Hong Kong on a Saturday night before he leaves, as Oh Young-hyun takes a shot at goal to get Korea to close this margin. He's hitting the ball superbly with the boot just underneath the crossbar. So no luck there for Oh. A wry smile on his face as we go to the 22 for a restart. McAdam decides to go reasonably long here. It's Kim Won-yong under the ball. He gives it to Lee Kwong-moon, who picks it up nicely. Nice slip pass there to Kim Jong-min from Young, the halfback. They get play into the Hong Kong half. Hong Kong were up very quickly there. It's the number 8, Lee Kwong-moon, who's had at least a dozen ball carries in this game so far. Here's the number 12, Park No-hoon, shows a bit of pace for a big man. Fast here from Jung. He's the man who came off the bench. Exciting player. And the assistant referee has called a forward pass back just on the halfway line. But we just see the danger there that Jung Seung-min brings to the game. And Park No-hoon, for a big barrel-chested man, showed a lot of pace off the mark there too to initiate that attack. Here he is skirting around the outside of Della Force, and here's the man who's come on. Fakes nicely. The Queen dragged him down, but the ball was forward. And he received the pass. Here he is, Jung Seung-min, 21 years of age, from a Korean university. Rangy character, 187 centimetres, and was certainly one of their standout players in the Asian 7 series late last year. They were just receiving news from Nagoya, a bit disappointing if you're a Sri Lankan fan. Japan 132, Sri Lanka 10. So it's good to see a close game here at the Hong Kong Football Club. It's been a very intense game of rugby so far, and I'm sure we've got more in store. As Phelps, the star of the show so far today, takes the ball up into contact. McKee to Hewson. Solid defence on him though by Lee and Park. McKee decides to probe line. It's Lamming who secures the ball, runs it up nicely. Here's Varty, low centre of gravity. Della Force gets in there and smashes the tacklers aside. McAdam with a towering punt. Here's Jung, the new man, takes it safely and shows some real confidence that was missing from the young fullback Jeong in the first half. But Alex McQueen initiates and counter-attack. Oh, nasty piece of play there from McAdam. It's the captain to Kim Gwon-sik. A pretty identical piece of play from the first half when we saw Phelps being yellow carded, so probably not the best situation for Kim Gwon-sik to be in here. If the referee is going to be consistent, we may see Kim Gwon-sik spending some time on the sidelines here too, as McAdam puts the ball high. Oh, and that's nasty with the studs there from Kim Gwon-sik.
You could say he was committed, Mike, but as to exactly what he was committed to.
Been watching too many Jackie Chan movies, perhaps. So yeah, it looks like he'll be spending some time. Yes, he's been yellow carded, Kim Gwon-sik, off camera there. Captain just getting probably a bit emotional, trying to lead the charge. So we'll come way up the field here, 15 metres in from where the kick landed, and Yu Kam-shing decides to take it quickly. Referee's not going to let him get away with that though. Yeah, good piece of play from Yu Kam-shing. Why not? If he blows time on, the Korean should be back. So we'll see a front row reinforcement here coming on. Son Yoon-ki, another Army player who scored a try off the bench against Sri Lanka 2 weeks ago. I'm sure he'll come on the first set piece to help out. So McAdam none the worse for wear after that charge. There's a brilliant kick from McAdam on the right side of the field for him. The left foot, just hooking it in, and 5 metres from the line. Attacking line out here for Hong Kong, and we've seen them many times this season with rolling mauls. The Son comes on. So look for the rolling maul here from Boland. It's Dwyer who takes it nicely. Oh, they set a separate pod aside there to the left. Nice work from Lamming. There's holes there too in the Korean defence. Boland looks to exploit it. Tauti can't make any headway though. Tauti. McKee goes a bit wider this time. Oh, Boland stays nicely on his feet there. Lamming decides to go for a try, and oh, not quite. Just a few centimetres away from the line. Lamming. McKee
This way!
trying to probe the ball out there. There's a real chance here just to the left of the ruck for Hong Kong. They go that way. Good defence in the end from Kim Ho-bum. McAdam comes in to help out. It's Boland again. He loves the ball carrying duties. Big strong man, and Taufi slips a pass to Yu Kam-shing. And great drawing pass there from the number 8. And that gives Yu Kam-shing his second try of the Asian Five Nations series this year. And boy, do the crowd like that. Wow, that's a great performance from the Hong Kong team. There's an old adage in rugby. Either side of halftime, if you can score, you set yourself up nicely, and that's exactly what Hong Kong have done. A try just before halftime to Jake Phelps, and then after 6 or 7 minutes in the second half, some intense pressure on a 14-man Korean team leads to the try out in the flank from Yu Kam-shing.
Well, I know the Hong Kong coaches felt that whoever scored first after half-time would be very significant. They've got the first try. Korea are down to 14 men. I would say it's everything is going Hong Kong's way at this point.
Chris McAdam with a pretty tough shot here from a metre in the field of play. Good side for him though. Could hook this ball round quite nicely. Starts it on the left post and in it goes. Slots it nicely. It's all going to plan here for Hong Kong. A dream performance so far in the first 50 minutes of this game. Of course, they've been under the cosh from Korea the last couple of years. 2 years ago, they lost. A bit of a surprise to Korea at the football club, 21-19. Then last year beaten without their 7 stars. But this year, it looks like they're going to turn the tables on this Korean squad. who runs some more substitutes in. This time it's in the loose forwards. It's Kim Hyung-soo, who plays open side flanker most of the time. He may come on though. I didn't see who went off. It may be Yoon Kwon-woo, who's been struggling with a hamstring injury, so he may play at lock. In fact, it's Lee Kwong-moon who's come off the number 8. So there'll be a bit of a reshuffle here in the pack. But he's a very dynamic player, Kim Hyung-soo. Could be just what they need as the restart goes deep. Phelps again, who's had his hands on the ball. Really been one of the leading players. Touch paper that set them alight for Hong Kong in the first 50 minutes of this game. Little knock on though, so Korea will get the ball to the scrum. And they urgently need to score here if they're in with any chance in this game, Robbie.
They certainly do. I think the Hong Kong confidence will just be building steadily now, and you know, they're going to try and play the game right back down the Korean half. Korea, this for them is absolutely crucial to convert this period of pressure into some points.
So Park Soon-chai, the blindside flank, has gone to number 8. Quickly out to O. Inside ball for Kim Nam-wook, who smashes his way into a gap. Real urgency here from Korea. They know that they have to play well here and score points. Park Soon-chai, blindside. O flips it back inside to Kim Ho-bum. Gives it to the tight head prop Park. He's isolated here though, although the referee has awarded a penalty for Hong Kong. Sorry, against Hong Kong. So Korea keep the pressure on. Will they go for the line out? Yes, they will. They realise they need points in 7-point bags here. Exactly 3 converted tries away from Hong Kong, so it's a huge task to score 3 converted tries to get themselves back into this game. So Kim Jong-min goes up high. Here's Kim Ho-bum. Park Jun-yul gets a couple of centimetres away. Hong Kong desperately defending this attack from Korea. Slows down now as the ball's bundled up and held off the ground, I think. But we come back for a penalty. Hong Kong not rolling away, and I think the referee will want a word with the Hong Kong defence here.
That looked a bit like Pete McKee at the bottom of all that, protesting his innocence and no doubt trying as hard as he could, Mike, to get away as quickly as he could.
Well, he's been around. He's a bit of a rugby nomad, Peter McKee. I don't know where he learnt that sort of behaviour, whether it was in Scotland, where he played underage rugby for Scotland, or Cork Constitution, or Poverty Bay in New Zealand, but somebody's taught him some terrible habits.
I suspect it might be Sam Pinder, the Hong Kong coach, who himself got a couple of caps for Scotland.
So Korea look to rumble this up, metres away from the line. Park Jun-yul has taken the responsibility on himself. Ball squirts out though, it's untidy. Real pressure again, McKee to the fore. And it's Rowan Barty who picks up the bouncing ball. Good defence though from Young. Be an interesting decision to see who the assistant referee thinks it's come off, but Varty swooping on that ball. He's really shown some pace, Varty, today. One of these players who's been put into the elite program with the Union. And a lot of them are looking very sharp, aren't they, from the Sevens program? Hewson, Varty, McQueen, Yu, all at the top of their game. There's McKee, the scrappy little customer. Korean down here. It's Yoon Kwon-woo. As we mentioned earlier, he struggled with a hamstring injury this week, so he'll be replaced by Song Byung-ho. 23-year-old from the Samsung club. So they'll lose some real physical capacity there. Ewan, he's a real worker in the engine room, that's for sure. Untidy for Korea. It's Tom Boland who snatches the ball away. But someone's knocked it on there at line-out time off a Hong Kong hand, so we come in for a scrum.
They are looking rattled though, Mike, Koreans. It's you know, that pressure up the other end, and it was a loose ball that allowed McKee to hack it downfield and relieve the pressure, and then at the line-outs, the Koreans are not getting clean ball. They're not playing with any degree of composure.
Yes, and the structure that we've seen from Hong Kong is really sadly missing from Korea's performance. They have had some untidy ball to deal with at the back of the set pieces, but it's really down to the inside pairing of Young and O to just get them in the right places in the field, and also its support around the ball at broken play as well. As we see here again, another hand in the play from McKee. This time it's Kim Hyun-soo. Good clearance from Young that time. Park No-hoon, who breaks the advantage line. 3 Hong Kong defenders drag him down. Blindside time, but it's knocked on by Song. Replacement front rower. And you're right, the pressure of being this far behind on the scoreboard really getting to Korea. Desperate measures needed now. 27 minutes to go, 21 points behind as we see Jamie Hood coming on the Hong Kong utility. And it's Peter McKee who goes off. He looks to be struggling a little with the leg injury, but he's certainly done his job today, McKee. And we see there's McKee. Struggling, but he's certainly done his job today, Peter McKee. A couple of performances off the bench got rewarded with a start today. Here's Hood.
It's a bit of a blow for Hong Kong. Jamie Hood's a great player to bring on, but I think Pete McKee really you know, had the upper hand. He was certainly getting under the skin of the Koreans, and he did everything that was expected of him today in terms of his defensive play and capitalising on Korean mistakes and forcing Korean mistakes.
So it's a penalty against Korea. Hong Kong will just settle us down, take their time. They will be in no hurry here whatsoever. Not out is the scream from the Hong Kong team. The Koreans may have been best to let that one go actually, but trapping with their foot, and then Jung pushing the ball down to the 10-metre line. And Lee Jones has retained the starting 8 so far that have started this game. They've performed really well, haven't they, up front today? Is Boland. Imagine that he'll be replaced shortly by Alex Harris, who always seems to get some time. Nice mobile little hooker. Hood, his first involvement to Tauti. Quick ball to Dwyer. Maybe a little knock on there as he went to ground. In fact, it's a penalty. Interesting couple of weeks coming up. If Hong Kong can retain this lead, they will get a bye next week, a well-deserved rest, as Korea will take on Japan and Incheon. And if it's one game in the season that Korea always get up for, it's the game against their arch rivals Japan. And then Hong Kong will travel to Tokyo to take on the Japanese as well. So they've had a couple of pretty easy hit-outs, the Japanese. You'd imagine the intensity will lift next week in Incheon. Korea. Some go-forward ball, Young. Oh, here's Kim Jong-min. gives it to Kim Hyun-soo. Some good ball running there from the loose forwards. Pretty hopeful kick there that Alex McQueen covers very nicely, and just illustrating the fact if you have a solid person whose positional play is sound at the back, can diffuse any number of situations. McQueen has been quite excellent in his positional play, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Certainly the Hong Kong back three of Varty, McQueen and Yu Kam Sing are very much the strength of the Hong Kong team. And yeah, as you were saying, if Korea had maybe had a bit more strength at the back in the first half, then they wouldn't be facing this this considerable hill they have to climb.
Park Soon-chai drags it down. This time it's Kim Nam-wook who's got some space too. Jinks inside and he's 10 metres away from the line. Urgency here from Korea. Kim Hyun-soo, who's played very well since he's come on. Again, untidy ball though. It's Oh who skirts to the left, and it's Kim Ho-bum, the rangy lock. Young to Park Soon-chai. Dummy runners left and right there for Korea, but the Hong Kong team picking out the right ball runner. Here's Kim Jeep. Some good momentum here for Korea. Kim Nam-wook pops a pass to Kim Won-young, but it's well read by Lloyd Jones. And that's put them on their heels here, the Korean team. And Hong Kong with a grubber kick through. Some real pressure on Oh. Jamie Hood goes to ground. And Jamie Hood diving on the player on the ground, so he's penalised. Korea will look to play this quickly. In fact, no. The steadying head says slow it down, so Jung pushes it to touch. Not much thought going in there to carve off a bit more territory.
Worryingly for the Koreans, it seems like Jamie Hood is taken up where Pete McKee left off. Again, good turnover ball, and certainly that number 9 position for Hong Kong has been pretty critical so far.
See the Korean first 5'8", Oh Yun-hyun getting a bit of attention. He's got a cut round the eye maybe. He's playing on, he's gone back to wing as Hong Kong rumble this one away. Hood decides to put in a kick to Oh. Let's see if he's struggling with any injury. No, takes it soundly. Ooh, it's a nasty knock there as he fell to ground. It's Kim Kwon-min who gets a lovely pass away to Kim Nam-wook, who's really showing a clean pair of heels now. Kim Kwon-min, suddenly Hong Kong on the attack, but Korea on the attack. But Hong Kong, superb in defence, getting numbers back in the tackle. And Korea holding on to the ball are penalised.
Great tackle by Yu Kam Sing and Jamie Hood. There he was, contesting for the ball, causing the penalty. Again, some great defensive play, though it looks like Yu Kam Sing's injured himself a bit in the try-scoring effort.
Oh, gets a nasty bang on the head there. Head clash with Kim Jong-min. So they're both down for the count there. Well, that was nasty. Some good work from Yu Kam Sing getting to his feet. And just as he turned around to compete for the ball, met the full brunt of the head of Kim Jong-min, the open side flanker. It'll be an interesting situation in the next couple of weeks as Korea go and host Japan next week. And then, of course, Hong Kong will go to Tokyo. Haven't had much luck there in the past in Tokyo. It's a pretty tough, daunting place to go and play Japan, Robbie. But they'll take a lot of confidence out of this game, Hong Kong.
I think if Hong Kong can hold on, this will be a very significant win, and to go to Tokyo in essence with nothing to lose and three good wins under the belt. Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting encounter. I wouldn't suggest that Eddie Jones will be quaking in his shoes, but he'll certainly it'll give him a bit of food for thought, this display today from Hong Kong.
Jones versus Jones, the coaching clash in 2 weeks. is Kim Jong-min. Well, he's played well. He's an experienced campaigner, 31 years old now. Really athletic, open side flanker. But Hong Kong, of course, with the penalty from that attack, so they've cleared the pressure once more. McAdam's played well today too. He's been a very sound performer.
I think that both McAdam and McQueen have had a very solid game with the boots so far, and that's really what's steered Hong Kong into the positions to play the game where they wanted to play it down the Korean end. They've stuck to the game plan extremely well. Hong Kong starting to ring the changes a bit now.
Yes, we see a panda for a panda. Leon Wei goes off after another sound performance, and Alex is on. Goes to the back. Della Force takes it, and a nice charging run from Phelps. Gets him on the front foot, and another penalty against Korea at the breakdown. The time is sapping away here for the Koreans. We've had 3/4 of this match played already. And Hong Kong 27 points to 6 ahead. 3 tries to none. It is a surprise the Koreans haven't been able to breach that Hong Kong defence. Really good performance defensively from Hong Kong. Real urgency when they scramble back, as we saw just moments ago. Screaming attack down the left flank from Korea, but real numbers back there for Hong Kong. There's McAdam again with a juicy little chip kick into the heart of the Korean territory, but Kim Jong-min does well, drags it down. Park to Kim Gwon-sik, who's found his way on the field again, but sloppy pop there from the Sin-bin player, Kim Gwon-sik. Very frustrating for the Korean team here. It's been a roller coaster ride if you're a Korean fan the last few years. Of course, went down to Division 1 rugby after a lackluster 2011, 2010 they were demoted. 2011 they played their way back up. And then the last 2 seasons finished second. Dwyer. Phelps pops the ball this time. Baddeley is on the field. Hood. It's it to Della Force. He's had a good game at set piece, Della Force. Here's Hewson, who gets cornered by some fast breaking defence from Park, the 2 Parks in fact. Nohoon and Soon Chai. Baddeley again, who's looking very keen to get involved. McAdam under a lot of pressure. Defensive line from Korea just all of a sudden getting their act together and putting a lot of pressure on Hong Kong as Hewson puts his head down and mows forward. Here's Alex Un with his first run of the game, and he takes up from where Leon Wei left off with a nice ball run. Varty with a brave take, exposing his ribs. Good physical play from Hong Kong, and very patient as they take their way forward. Phelps to again, and also numbers there in support of the ball carrier. Here's Cooper. Haven't seen much of him in open play, which is always a good sign from a tight head prop. Oh, finally Lamming with the lapse in concentration. But stringing together some good play there from Hong Kong. As we see off camera, Chris McAdam, the fly half, going down with a bit of cramp.
Nice continuity from Hong Kong, and good succession of phases. I was kind of expecting that we would see them go to the boot, maybe dab a little kick through before the end there. That Korea, I think the defensive line was reverting back to what was expected up very, very quickly, putting the pressure on Hong Kong.
So it's turned out to be a nice, settled evening here at the Hong Kong Football Club. Some squally weather earlier on today, but it's settled down nicely. A little wet underfoot, but pretty good conditions for rugby. And Hong Kong making the most of them so far in this game. 27 points to 6 ahead over Korea. 2 tries to Jake Phelps and 1 to Yu Kam Sing, as we see some of the Hong Kong faithful supporting their boys. Fast ball for Korea to go away here. Kim Nam-wook tries to break on the outside, but Jones equal to the task. Again, untidy at the contact area for Korea, and they may have lost this ball. No, they scramble it back. Oh Yun-hyun puts in a cross kick, but it's Vati who's waiting back with plenty of time. Gives it a wee juggle, and look at the acceleration on Vati. He's got McQueen inside, and McQueen has the legs, the speed, the sizzle to go all the way. Great counter-attack. Poor pressure on the kick from Korea, and they were made to pay by a velocious Vati. What speed off the mark.
Well, that was a lovely combination between the two sevens speedsters. Vati a little bit lucky just to retain that, but when things are going well for you, you get the rub of the green. And once he got a bit of space and saw McQueen on his inside, there was no stopping them. You've got to think that that's Hong Kong looking home and dry now, Mike.
Yeah, we're just even before that, the Koreans really not showing that desperation that we saw from them earlier in the half. And even though the cross kick was a pretty good one from O, his supporting players weren't expecting the kick. There was no pressure on Vati there, and even though he juggled with the ball for a second or two, he still had loads of space to jet away. And McAdam, tough conversion attempt just to the left. But this really is a convincing performance from Hong Kong. As you say, Robbie, putting a nail in the coffin. Could have been the last one. Alex McQueen with a dinky little drop goal earlier and caps it off with a try too. And that's 50 points in Asian Five Nations Rugby for AMAC. And Paul Dwyer, the property broker, calls himself a shed head, goes off, and that's a good spell from him. The lanky lock off camera. He's put in a good 66 minutes of effort. And Bill Brandt, probably player of the match 2 weeks ago against the Philippines, comes on and will get some time to underline his case for some more time in the remaining game. Stella Force, who mucks up the kickoff, is Park No-hoon, hero from 2 years ago. He's been well contained by this Hong Kong defence, and again, around the fringes, Hong Kong put some real pressure on halfback Young. Go back to the other side of the field, no advantage from the knock-on. Korea will get a scrum here. Interesting to see what the Japanese team make of this. They've had 2 big victories, didn't quite crack the ton against the Philippines last week. In fact, the Philippines were leading at one stage down there near Manila, 10 points to 7 before the Japanese tide turned, and final score 99-10 today. Again, they've leaked 10 points. I'm not sure if Eddie Jones will be very happy about that. They did score 132 themselves, Robbie, which isn't a bad effort. And I wonder what they're making of this game.
I certainly think that they'll be very aware that Hong Kong have got players who can score tries against them. There's no doubt about that. And with, again, the Hong Kong set piece has been very secure. I would think Japan will certainly not be complacent going into the Hong Kong game.
And of course they've got a visit to Korea next weekend as well. Koreans always lay on a warm welcome for them. Good physical effort 2 years ago. In fact, they were leading that game just before half-time, the Koreans against Japan 2 years ago. And there was an intercept pass as Korea attacked the line just before half time. An intercept pass from Japan and turned the tide. Korea always managed to put a good half together against Japan. So yeah, a couple of stiff challenges for the 6-time champions under the captaincy of flanker Michael Leach this year, a foreigner, but he's been given the role as captain. Not the first man, of course, to lead Japan, a foreigner, Andrew McCormick, son of Fergie, leading them to the Rugby World Cup in 2003. And Leach, well, he's been there since he was 15 years old, speaks fluent Japanese, and probably one of their best players, athlete. So just some sorting out here with 10 minutes to go, trying to get some sort of gap in that line out. Delaforce struggles with the high ball again. So Korea roll it up. New half back on, Shin Ki-chul. So Kim Gwon-sik, the captain. Here's Park Soon-chai. Skip pass to Kim Nam-wook. And it's another replacement on Lee Yu-dun, who played standoff in the first game. He's been stationed out on the wing by the looks of him. Can't handle the ball effectively. Phelps really getting in the face of the Koreans. Aggressive performance from the Aussie, who lists Tana Umang as his favourite player. Unusual for an Aussie. Telling me he got slightly brushed off at the GFI Hong Kong 10s by Tana as he went up and claimed his admiration for the ex-All Black captain, which is unusual. Tana usually a very welcoming character. Maybe thought he was being head on by the Aussie.
Certainly been a feature today that Hong Kong at no time have appeared intimidated by the Koreans. The Koreans in the past have had a reputation, very physical, and sometimes in years gone by have perhaps bullied Hong Kong a little bit physically. Today, you know, from 1 to 15, they've stood up to the Korean challenge, and there's been, you know, no backward step from any of the Hong Kong players.
Free kick to Hong Kong, badly. They struggled to tap the ball quickly, but he's managed to reclaim it. Delaforce. Hood wants them to go open here. It's Hewson who obeys the instructions of his scrum half. And push it out right again. Oh, some lovely play there. Interplay between Phelps and Jones. Lamming in support. Good open side flanker play from him. Hood again. Quickly there. And it's been intercepted here by the scrum half, though. Shin. It's a long way back, too, for the Hong Kong team. They can't get it cleanly. Park No-hoon with a real chance for a try there, but again can't take their opportunities. Tom McQueen holding the ball back from Shin Dong-won, the Korean replacement prop who went to Christchurch Boys High School in New Zealand, part of the team that won the Moaska Cup in 2004, the trophy of supremacy in high school rugby for New Zealand, a side that featured Colin Slade, Nasi Manu and Owen Franks. And he's made his way back as an Asian player into Japanese top league rugby with the Sanix team down in Fukuoka, and now he's gone to Suntory. So good to see him getting some time on the field. He's talking me through some of the difficulties that the Japanese-based Korean players face playing for their country. He's managed to escape pre-season duties for Suntory and given a run here for Korea. Shin Ki-chul, quick ball from Park Soon-chai, barging his way forward, really using that physicality well. Could be a turnover though. Hong Kong claiming the ball. What superb work. Korea hot on attack as quickly as you like. A turnover for Hong Kong under huge pressure. And now it's Tom McQueen who goes up, competing against Kim Guan-min, who, after being the top try scorer last year in the Asian Five Nations, hasn't performed to the best of his ability today. Well, we saw a battle royale in the first half of this game. Things just slowly petering out. Seems like a bit of momentum from both teams being lost as the substitutes have come on. Another one for Korea. This time it's Son Yoon-ki, who we saw during the Sinbin period. He's coming on full time. He's certainly the hero of the game for Hong Kong. And he went from the outhouse to the penthouse. Sinbin in the first minutes, and then coming back, scoring 2 tries. Some sparkling rugby from Jake Phelps. Sam Pinder and Di Reese, Lee Jones, some of the brains trust for the Hong Kong coaching team. So just 5 minutes left of this game, and Hong Kong so far with a handsome performance. See an all-new front row, Branton at lock, Baddeley at flanker. So all the substitutes are on as far as the forwards go. In fact, all substitutes are on. Tom McQueen, Nick Wheatley, and at halfback Jamie Hood. Just the ferocity and the intensity has come out of the game in the last 5 minutes as Korea realise their fate. And Hong Kong just playing for time, closing out this game. And Hood making friends with his Korean opponent there, just talking him through how a scrum half should behave at scrum time. And the referee doesn't agree with Hood's lesson there. He's penalised Hong Kong. So Koreans now playing for pride. Again, just hurry that kick to touch. Taking the time, scrambling, so they'll end up 25 metres away from the try line with a line out. Referee Taizo playing the assistant's role today. Much travelled referee. That's not a very good throw in there from Korea, so Hong Kong managed to gain possession. Hood finds his man McAdam, and McAdam puts in a nice kick down to Kim Guan-min. A counter-attack opportunity here for Kim though. Nice switch to Jung. He really is full of energy when he's got the ball in his hands. This time it's Kim Kyung-soo. Takes the ball up nicely. They're playing advantage here for the Hong Kong player who couldn't extricate himself badly from the back of the ruck. Here's Daniel Shin. Hal gets to his feet, continues the run. The ball again popping out there. So again, Korea get the penalty. You just see that the wind's gone out of Hong Kong's sails here. They're just holding on. Jung, who just smashes it up straight into the heart of the forwards. Good aggressive running from Jung. They spin it wide this time. It's Kim Nam-wook who can't hold on to the ball. Now it's Rohan Vati. Watch him go. Such great balance. Pops it inside. Wheatley. Good interplay. Phelps decides to take the tackle. He's got a number of men in support. This time it's Bill Brandt there, I think. Nice little kick from Hood. And Vati's chasing this one up. Oh Yun-hyun lost sight of it. Vati's got the ball. Korea get to him with numbers. And it looks like they've got the turnover. But again, the ball scrambles loose from Kim Hyun-soo. Very untidy passage of play there that will end in a Hong Kong scrum inside the Korean 22. number of men down here with cramp and back play. Look at Varty, he's got such great balance, a low centre of gravity. McAdam, might have been a case there for a knock forward, but Wheatley in support.
Again, intelligent use of the boot by Hong Kong, and every time Vardy gets the ball, you can just sense the expectation from the crowd. It's such an exciting runner, and with Tom McQueen on now, and Alex McQueen and Salom Yukamp Singh, a real embarrassment of riches for Hong Kong in terms of their back three players.
Varty up to 36 internationals now for Hong Kong, 21 tries in that time, Centurion in points. So Hong Kong hot on attack. Can they finish with a flourish here in the last few minutes of this game? They've gone over the line and referees awarded a try. It's a scramble of players. And it looks like it's Steve Nolan, the horse, who scores his first international try for Hong Kong in Asian Five Nations Rugby. Well, there might be some free drinks at the Keela Bar tonight. There's Hong Kong. There's some nice one-off running there. Looked as though Korea had contained them. Good defensive rucking, but Nolan getting his hands on the ball and showing a fresh pair of heels to go over the line for a try. Looks reminiscent of the great Hong Kong prop Nigel Hobler, who scored many a try for Hong Kong in the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm sure the story of that try will grow for Nolan as much as we saw Hobler's stories about his massive efforts from 80 metres out that were in reality a drop over the line. So a real embarrassment here for Korea. They came thinking they were the favourites for this game, and on the performances from the last couple of years you would have thought they were in the driving seat, but Hong Kong has repelled their challenge and shown some real authority in this game as we get to the last couple of seconds, and a 39-6 loss is not what Korea were expecting here at the Hong Kong Football Club, that is for sure. And Hong Kong really have been desperate to not concede a try, even in the last few minutes of this game, as they hold a handsome lead. Again, Hong Kong, great work at the breakdown from the loose forwards. Laming, Hewson, all getting amongst it and making this ball really untidy for the Koreans. And Hood this time goes through. Nolan with some little Irish football skills there. And again, Korea go in reverse. There'll be some real questions asked. Here's Nolan again. He's got the taste of his first test try. He wants another one. So referee Otsuki blows it up at the end of 80 minutes. And what a performance from Hong Kong. They've finished third for the last 2 years in this Asian Five Nations competition, but not this year. They're assured of second place, whatever other results come through. And they go to Japan in 2 weeks' time with a chance to go to the Rugby World Cup next year. A dream, of course, against the incredible Japanese team, but they're in with a shot. They've got their ticket to the dance. In 2 weeks' time, they'll be in Tokyo. Korea, well, they've got their tail between their legs. They'll skulk back to Incheon and work on any number of areas of weakness tonight that will leave them scratching their heads, because they really had no answer after the first 15 minutes. A ferocious opening from Korea. They had a 6-0 lead, but then the wind getting out of their sails as Hong Kong sapped up all that pressure and turned the tables on Korea with 39 unanswered points. And that was the final score, 39 points to 6. Tries from Jake Phelps, he scored 2, Yu Kam Shing, Alex McQueen and Steve Nolan. So almost a perfect performance from Hong Kong. I don't think even coach Lee Jones would have envisaged that they would have managed this kind of victory. 33 points margin. And there they go, Hong Kong into the huddle. And what a victory for Hong Kong Rugby. So let's go touchline now. We have the victorious coach with Robbie McRobbie.
Coach Lee Jones, comprehensive victory, very complete performance. Did everything go according to plan?
Better than according to plan, actually, Robbie. It was just a magnificent display by our 23. You know, a whole squad performance, outstanding defence, and some real classy performances of some of our guys. That said as well, it isn't just about the 23 on the field. I think the Hong Kong Rugby Union is a fabulous organisation, 80-odd employees. That today is for everyone. It's a joint effort. I think it's an outstanding performance all around. 3 wins from 3, the final game against Japan in Tokyo in 2 weeks. How close can you get to the reigning Asian Five Nations champions? We'll worry about Japan next week. It's obviously going to be a big ask. The guys will go there confidently. It's great that we are going there for a meaningful game. The A5N is usually won by this juncture, so it's nice to go with something on the end of the game.
And Hong Kong guaranteed at least second place, which means a spot in the Rugby World Cup repechage. How much does that mean to Hong Kong rugby?
You saw what it meant to the guys today, Robbie. You know, they were passionate. They gave everything they had. I think it means a lot, not just to the 23, but to the community as a whole. Great.
Congratulations. Good luck in Tokyo.
Thank you very much. All the best. All right.
Well, you can't wipe the smile off Lee Jones' face there. A very happy man, and well, you go in as a coach with any number of things that could happen in a game of rugby, but as he mentioned, I think that final score was beyond his wildest dreams. 39 points to 6, and let's hope we've got some highlights to show you from this game, and it will be all one-way traffic as far as the highlights go, because Hong Kong scored all the tries in this game, even though Korea started the game very well and full of intent. Hong Kong in the end were victorious, and it almost ended up as one-way traffic. That's Yu Kam Shing scoring the first try of the second half, straight after the halftime break. And this is Vati, who showed a number of inspirational pieces of play. This was the best piece, as he just flared around the outside, gave the ball to Alex McQueen at pace. And what acceleration off the mark from Vati. And this will be one for the collection of Steve Nolan, the big horse, going over, scoring the try. 3 tries in the second half to add to Jake Phelps' 2 in the first. And as we take a look at the statistics, Korea made the most tackles, almost twice the number of Hong Kong. They were good at the lineouts, Korea, and the set pieces were pretty even. But in open play, Hong Kong, especially in defence, were magnificent. They had all the answers for the questions posed from the Korean attack. So a pretty good performance, a fantastic performance from Hong Kong, in fact. And they go to Tokyo in 2 weeks' time with the chance to take a place at the Rugby World Cup next year, and at the very least a repechage game. But in the meantime, next Saturday's game will be a great one too, because Korea will bounce back from this setback, you'd imagine, especially against their arch rivals Japan. So at the Incheon Munhak Stadium next week at 12 p.m. local, at lunchtime, that'll be 11 a.m. Hong Kong time. You can see that game. It's our TV game from Incheon, Korea versus Japan. And Japan will have to step up, because the quality of the opposition really will improve in the next couple of weeks. And the other game, well, that will be a tight one as well, you'd imagine. And it's a clash that both teams have been waiting for. Sri Lanka and the Philippines. Of course, the winner will secure 4th place in the competition, and that would mean that the loser would be winless. Both teams will probably go down to Division 1 rugby next year, but pride at place there for the two teams that have struggled against the bigger teams in this competition, but that certainly will be a great game of rugby. So if you're in the neighbourhood, please go and check it out. So what a fantastic game of rugby if you're a Hong Kong supporter. Not so much if you were back in Korea for this game, that's for sure. But look at the smiles on the face of Hong Kong. A mixture of professionals and amateurs. A lot of these guys holding office jobs during the week, giving their all for Hong Kong, their adopted place to live, and getting the admiration of the crowd. Their perfect performance from them. 39 points to 6, the final score. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Hong Kong with a great performance, Korea with a lot of thinking to do before their next week's clash. Until next week, this is Mike Rehu signing off from the Hong Kong Football Club for the AFU Asian 5 Nations.